guys, it's coffee time, Christmas coffee time. It is the 25th of December, which I find funny because it seems like to me, as an outsider, my family doesn't really celebrate any winter holidays, so I find all of them to be a little bit confusing. If you celebrate Hanukkah, it's already over. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, it's gonna start tomorrow, so, you know. But I always had the idea that Christmas Eve was when everybody did everything, and then actual Christmas Day was, like, not a big deal. Like, nobody really cared. That's not true, apparently. Learning the more people that I meet, the more I'm realizing that both days are a big deal for most people. In my house, we just kind of walk around and high-five each other and are like, peace on earth, right? Yeah! And then move on. So it's fun being with people who typically have, like, things that they do on Christmas. Although, last night was super fun. Mike and Jeannie and I all went to a dine-in theater, which I have done before, but, like, okay, so my dine-in theater is very Oregon. It's, like, janky chairs and huge polished wooden tables. And it's the same sort of situation where, like, they come out and they're like, hey, what would you like to eat? And you tell them. It's like, it's as though there's a restaurant, but a huge screen that you watch in the restaurant. So, Mike has gone to this one before, and so has Ro, and I was super jelly. It's just like, God, I really need to do that. So, when Jeannie and I decided that we were going to do Dodge and Jeannie's Fantastic Christmas, because I didn't know if Chris was going to be around, I didn't know if Mike was going to be around, so I was like, well, this is ours. This is our day. When we decided that we were going to do that, I was like, all right, here's the thing. I still haven't seen The Hobbit, and she was like, oh, I have seen it, but I would totally see it again, and I was like, all right, I feel like the worst nerd on the planet that I haven't seen this movie yet, so I want to go to this dine-in theater. I need to go because apparently it is fantastic. And what I didn't realize is there are apparently millions. There's just like so many dine-in theaters in California, which makes sense because the only place that a theater like that can really exist. God, I'm going to start calling it cinema. It hurts me to call them theaters, but everybody does. The only way that a cinema like that can exist is if there's a huge population density, right? There are lots of people in LA, and even though most people are going to say, I don't got time for that, there are plenty of people who are going to say, man, I could really go for a dine-in theater right now. We thought that on Christmas Eve it would be pretty empty, but it wasn't, which I wasn't super surprised about. I was just hoping, because when I ordered our tickets, it said that there was nobody else that had ordered tickets yet, and we were like, really? So, but it worked out perfect. We were right in the center, right in the middle. I bought Jeannie and my tickets ahead of time, and then Mike was like, hey, what are you guys doing? I thought for sure he was going to go and be with his family, but I guess he's doing that today. He was like, hey, what are you guys doing for food? And I was like, oh, I think we're going to go to that dine-in theater. And he was like, oh, what are you going to see? And I was like, oh, we're going to see The Hobbit. And he was like, oh, can I come? I was like, yeah. So it was awesome. It was the three of us, and we had a great time. The Hobbit, can I tell you about The Hobbit without ruining anything? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think I was trying to assess, after the movie, I was trying to assess what the issues that people had were with it. There are a couple of scenes that don't need to be there, but are important if you are a huge fan of the book, I feel. So there's that. And then, oh, what was the other thing that I was going to say? Oh, it's more playful. The Hobbit is more of a, like, strange, jovial story than Lord of the Rings is. But it does set in motion everything that happens in Lord of the Rings. So I'm just like, oh gosh, oh my goodness, there were so many moments. I was having nerd chills basically the entire movie, and there were so many moments where I was like, oh. just like got really sad all of a sudden because I knew how it was gonna end. I was just like, oh, I've seen how all of this turns into something in Lord of the Rings, and now I'm just watching it happen like for the very first time, and I feel so many feelings. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was just like, but now I want another one. Why'd they have to turn it into 3? Ugh. Man. Smog. Oh, I have so many feelings. I have so many feelings. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys, but oh, it's so good. It's so good, I thought, but very long. Exactly 3 hours long. So, you know, if you're up for that. But if there's a theater by you that has reclining chairs and food, go there. Because, man, I loved being able to, like, when something intense was happening, just be like, like, come to attention. And then when, you know, they were, like, traveling across the mountain and whatever, I was like, like, not as intense. I'm gonna recline a little, lean back, enjoy my life. And the food there was fantastic, so it just all wound up being a perfect Christmas Eve, and Jeannie spent the night. She sleeps like a log, so she's, like, out on our couch. But when we got back, I was like, man, I kind of just want to watch Lord of the Rings now. And Jeannie was like, we could do that. Yeah, maybe we should do that. And I was like, yeah, Lord of the Rings? Yeah. And then we sat down and just turned on Netflix and started watching Extreme Couponing. And then Jared came over. Frodo came over and hung out with us for a while because he's Jewish. He has nothing to do on Christmas either. So he was just like, hey, you want to hang out? We were like, yeah. So he came over. It was like a home for wayward Christmas children. And we all just sat and watched Extreme Couponing. And Mike came out and we were like, we're watching Extreme Couponing. You want to watch it? And he was like, I've already seen every episode of this. I was like, I know, me too. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna watch any more of this show. And then he just stood there for a while watching it, like, on the side, and then finally just sat down on the couch. So we were all just, like, huddled together with a blankie and, like, water. All of us were drinking water. It was so weird. I was like, yay, family. No Ro, because she's in Oregon, which was sad. But it was fun. It was a fun day. And today, I think we're going to try to go see Les Mis. I think that's the plan. I want to see it so bad. I'm so excited. We were like, okay, do we just see Les Mis or do we see Les Mis and Django Unchained? I was like, oh no. So what we're going to do is we're going to go see Les Mis and have a big gap in between, like when Les Mis should end and when Django Unchained should start, so that we can be like, okay, how are we feeling? Make sure that we are fully mentally prepared for all this, you know? So, yeah, we'll see. Had good days. And I kept thinking to myself, oh, I need to make a video. And then I just got caught up in, like, friend stuff, and I figured you guys wouldn't mind too much. I figured you would give me some slack, since it's like a holiday time sort of thing. Yeah. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to say. I can't remember it now. We will be doing the podcast tomorrow, for Boxing Day, which is a UK holiday, apparently. Is it? Hold on. I'm gonna look it up because I don't want to, like, say this wrong. It's traditionally the day following Christmas Day, when servants and tradesmen would receive gifts from their superiors or employers, known as a Christmas box. Today, Boxing Day is better known as a bank or public holiday that occurs on the 26th of December or the first or second weekday after Christmas Day. It is observed in the UK, Hong Kong, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and some other Commonwealth nations. What? In South Africa, Boxing Day was renamed to Day of Goodwill in 1994. In Ireland, it is recognized as St. Stephen's Day or the Day of the Wren. In some European countries, notably Germany, Lithuania, Poland, Scandinavia, and the Netherlands, the 26th of December is celebrated as the second Christmas Day. In Canada, Boxing Day takes place and is a federal public holiday. What? I've never heard of this in my life until TB was like, oh, we can have the podcast on Boxing Day. And I was like, what? And in my mind, of course, it was like boxing. So that's been the joke that I keep making. But It's apparently like a big old thing. I thought it was only a UK thing. Now we know. Guys, we're learning so much today. So yes, we're going to do a Boxing Day podcast. It's, I think it's going to be on time, 12 o'clock, noon, Pacific Standard Time. So type that into Google if you don't know what time that is for you, because I haven't memorized all of them. Every time I say, yeah, this is happening at this and this time, I always get so many messages that are like, so what is that in China? And I'm like, I don't know. You have to type that in. I have no idea. Because I would be typing it in too. So, oh, why is coffee so delicious? Guys, did you know that Jammy Dodgers minis are a thing? I'm gonna eat these on the podcast. Jammy Dodgers minis. I'm so excited. They're jam-tastic. Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. Jam-tastic. Man, I almost didn't save that. Okay. Anywho, I'm gonna go try to wake up Jeannie, and then we're gonna see if maybe we can go see Les Mis. But I hope that you guys had a great couple of days. If you celebrate them, if you don't celebrate them, I still hope that you had a great couple of days laughing at everybody who's making a big old deal about Christmas, right? Huh. And if you're about to celebrate Kwanzaa or Boxing Day, then good luck with that. And I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah!